Oh, hey, what's happening there, YouTube? It's Brian House here for Housework, and today we are going to take this old Farrier's rasp and turn it into this Bowie knife. This is for the 2021 Bowie Knife Challenge right here on YouTube. There's 19 other contestants that are participating in this. You can vote down in the description. There's a link, and I hope you enjoy the show. All right, so here's where we're at with the blade. I've got all the grinds done here as far as I'm going to go before heat treat anyhow. As you can see, we are doing some different things with some different techniques. I have used a plasma cutter to cut out the profile and then use my grinder to just kind of clean up everything a little bit. And at this point, this is right where we are. I am happy with this result so far. And let's move on to the guard. We're going to do a guard in copper, hopefully. It's been a long time since I've worked with copper, but I'm interested to see what we can do. All right, let's take a quick inventory as to where we are on the knife. We've got it all plasma cut out, ground down, primary bevels put in. I did do the file work around this tang connection where the guard's going to go. I highly underestimated the actual time investment it would take to make that fit. Wow, what a lot of work that was. But, you know, this is a competition, and this is my first one of these, by the way. I've never made anything like this before. And I really like the feel and look so far. So I feel like I might have a chance, and if you think I do too, make sure you go vote. But I definitely love the look of copper and steel together. I can't wait to see what this comes up to be. But yeah, the file work was just a lot of work to make that fit correctly. So anyway, we're right there. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, we're going to cut this down and shape this, get into rough shape, and then we're going to anneal this copper so that we can do some decorative work to it, and then we're onto the handle. So let's get going. All right, this is where we're at with the guard, hammered finish, and I just gave it some polish because I want it nice and clean because we're going to do a patina on this, and hope to God it'll all fit up quite right, but I think it's turning out quite beautiful. Whole new experience for me. I'm having a blast doing this. I'm going to use a mixture of salt and vinegar to patina it. I've never done this before, but it patinas brass pretty good. So I'm thinking this should do the same for copper, or close to it anyway. So it's going to give it a spritz every few minutes and see what happens. Let's keep an eye on it. Oh, I can already see it happening. Very cool. The vinegar and salt did an okay job, but what you're looking at here is the result of red wine, vinegar, and Miracle Grow, actually, a mixture of those two things. I let it soak for about 30 minutes and then let it dry, and that's what this patina is. It's not as consistent as I would like it to be. I would like to play around with this process a little bit more in the future just to kind of see exactly what we end up with. However, I do love this. I think it's fantastic and it fits what we're going for. The fit up, it looks pretty rad. Definitely think that it fits the blade. So yeah, let's keep going. I've decided on the handle material. This is actually hemp. So compressed hemp that's been dyed and then stabilized and mixed with all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I got this at Blade Show in Atlanta. And you can see here I've already started drawing out where I need to drill my holes and do all my work. Alright, so let's just do an initial fit up just to kind of see where we're at. Check our lines. Everything is coming together swimmingly. I really like the look of this so far. Obviously there's some refinement, but you can see the shape of this and the color of this hemp is blending nicely with the patinaed copper. So I'm digging it, and now I gotta heat treat this blade to get it hard. This has been, this is just in an annealed state at the moment. So we're gonna get that done. I take it out of the kiln, dunk it in canola oil for about 8 seconds, and then immediately I put it in this clamping system. This is something that, an idea I got from Jeremy over at Simple Little Life. It's essentially just 2 aluminum plates. Big thick ones is about 1 inch thick. With a woodworker's vise, like a bench vise, kind of set on end. And what that does is throw it in there, clamp it down while the blade is still warm. So right after the canola oil, it goes in here. And what that does is it keeps the blade straight while the remaining heat is released out of the blade. I've had massive success with this, not having to mess around too much with, temper straightening, going in or trying to straighten things out. This just changes all that, saves all that time. I got the aluminum plates from McMaster Car. You can get these pretty much anywhere. I just ordered it from them because I order from them a lot. And you can also heat treat AEBL stainless, all kinds of stuff in this. You can do A2 tool steel in these. It's just a really handy tool. Probably costs you a little under $200 to make one. And if you're a knife maker, this is like the bee's knees, So we're gonna let this fully cool, throw the blade in temper, clean it up, and get up to the fitment of the handle and the guard. All right, let's pull this bad boy out of here and see what we got. One of the other things I do too is I flood my kiln with argon. Even with high carbon steels, I like to do this to keep the decarb from happening. You can see it's pretty clean down here. That's by design. That's the argon keeping this thing from decarbing. So a little bit of carbon on the outside just from the quench oil and whatnot. But yeah, that's been kind of a cool thing to add to your kiln. I know you can do it later down the road. I actually bought this kiln from Paragon, and they will install it for you at the factory. So. All right, let's run a file over this thing and see if it is hard. Oh yeah. Gotta love that sound. File skating over the steel means that baby is hard. Gotta love that. Okay, so we're using the TR Maker knife vise to clamp this all together. This is the first time I've used that actual functionality where I'm doing a hidden tang knife and I need to put clamping force down on the handle and a guard. So the process I came up with was use a little bit of CA glue from Starbond. I just use medium thin CA glue, and then use a CA glue activator, which is this stuff is called miter appel. Anyway, I put links down in the description. You can find all this stuff on Amazon, but that's just to hold the guard in place during this glue up, because I'm going to, that was a little fiddly, so I just wanted to make sure that I could put it in the spot, glue it down briefly just to get it, kind of stuck. And then I'm going to fill the handle with some standard epoxy, which I like G-Flex. This is what I use, G-Flex epoxy from West Systems. Good stuff. Never had a problem with it, so I use that. And then we're going to clamp it all down in the knife vise, and then I'm going to tilt this thing down so that it's hanging. Okay, so when I do that, then the epoxy will kind of fill up inside of the cavity and not drain down onto my handle. That was the whole goal of taking all that time to sort of figure out this clamping system, because if I were to glue it up, say, while it was in this vertical position with the blade tip pointing down, the epoxy is going to eventually just run down all over my handle, which I don't want. I want it obviously to stay in the handle and to harden inside of the handle. Okay, so it's been a couple of days. I like to let my G-Flex cure for a bit of time here. And let's take it out of the knife vise and see where we're at. Wow. Feels good in the hand. Nice spacing on the guard. Feels like my finger rides right up underneath that guard, which is exactly what I wanted. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Also, don't forget to go vote. All right, we got a few more refinements. Gonna put an edge on this thing, and then we're gonna call it done.